there, my name is Michael. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Once you're done watching, you will come out with a newfound hope for taking full control of your health. The goal for this channel is to take responsibility and stay accountable for my health and fitness with a 5-tier process I call functional reboot. And hopefully you can join me on this journey. If we break down the two words, functional means designed to be practical and useful rather than attractive, and reboot means to restart or revive a process or a sequence. These include mental reprogramming, stress management, nutrition planning, exercise programming, and lastly, recovery. Let's dive in. To achieve anything worth having, it's going to be challenging. You have to get rid of old belief systems that are most likely holding you back. Taking responsibility means accepting that who you are right now is the person who got you into this mess. It's not all your fault though. Advertising is like the invincible hand that is controlling your decision-making process. Ever heard of the 4-Minute Man? For most of the run up to World War I, most Americans had no desire to go to war. So President Woodrow Wilson hired speakers to give 4-minute long speeches. Millions of people heard these speeches and it had a profound effect on their opinion towards war. Parents were now willing to ship their kids off to die. And it's not just about going to war. The notion that marriage and diamond rings have to go together was programmed in the public by De Beers' popular culture brainwashing campaign. Edward Bernays did the same thing when he advised the public that smoking was good for you. Unfortunately, this has not stopped. We think we're in control of our political leanings, our culture, and the foods we love to eat. Persuasion science says otherwise. What if we could take control of our impulses and addictions to form a more disciplined and resilient character? Well, we can. We have to take back ownership of our mental real estate if we truly want to be healthy and attain our desired body composition. Fortunately, by watching this video, you've already taken the first step. In the past, calorie-dense meals were rare. For our generation though, good nutrition advice should be actively sought after to challenge the current paradigm. Quotes like "breakfast is the most important meal of the day" have been ingrained in our culture for many years and are often cited as conventional wisdom. The statement that breakfast is the most important meal of the day has been attributed to James Caleb Jackson and John Harvey Kellogg, pioneers in the development of breakfast cereals. The idea was used to promote their products. Jackson and Kellogg believed that a breakfast, especially one centered around their cereal, was essential for overall health. But going from eating tasty bacon and eggs to plain cereal and milk is a tall order for most people. Plain cereal tastes bland, so adding sugar makes it more palatable and helps sell more. Unfortunately, sugar is one of the most addictive and unhealthy substances on the planet Earth. The breakfast aisle is no different from the candy aisle, a major contributor to the spike in the average sugar consumption. We went from 4 pounds per year per person 100 years ago to 152 pounds yearly, equivalent to a 12-ounce soda every 7 hours. We're hooked, and every corner of every city has a fast food joint ready to feed the addiction. It doesn't have to be this way. Now more than ever, we can take charge of our lives and start making more informed decisions and live healthier lives. The quality is more critical than the specific timing or the contents of a particular meal. Your first meal of the day should be considered an act of love towards yourself. And if you have no good choices to pick from, skip it. No breakfast will help with fat burning throughout the day more than a bowl of cereal or a slice of toast. The unstable nature of chronic stress has adverse effects on the body. If left unchecked, it will eat you alive. We humans surely did mess something up bad in the past. We're the only species that have to work for a living, and the majority of the workforce hates their jobs. We live in constant fear of being unable to afford things, yet our hunger for more stuff is insatiable. After graduating and joining the workforce, play is considered childish and a waste of our time. Yet play is the single most effective way of decompressing from a long, stressful day. Instead, we opt for alcohol or other depressants like sleeping pills. Emotional eating is another escape, usually pro-inflammatory fast food, as you blast your exhausted brain with blue lights from your TV or smartphone. And if you have kids, they become a bother with all the stories of their fun-filled day. So you slip them them your iPad so they can shut up and watch Peppa Pig. It's only Monday, and the thought of dealing with your boss the rest of the week is even more depressing. Ice cream and another episode of Game of Thrones numb the pain. A bong hit, more Grubhub, and before you know it, it turned into a binge. It's 2:30 a.m. You don't even feel like sleeping. You toss and turn before you get your 4 hours of sleep. The alarm zaps you out of bed at 6 a.m. Everything feels like crap, and you're on your way to another miserable day at work. Stress, both physical and emotional, is necessary for life. Without stress of learning, our brains atrophy and shrink. Without the physical stress from a good workout, we get weak muscles and bones. However, stress is meant to be acute. Chronic stress from an overstimulated fight or flight response, usually from our diet and poor lifestyle choices, hinders the metabolism of stress hormones in the body. This promotes insulin resistance, which leads to an accumulation of body fat, among other negative effects. Stress has to be taken seriously, and a structured stress management regimen is non-negotiable for a healthy life. Exercise has always been a function for living, not a scheduled thing that you dread. It's a requirement for survival. It's the miracle drug that most are blind to. It can get you skinny and sexy, put on muscle, relieve stress, sleep better, cure depression, alleviate pain, and improve your memory. And it's all free. This miracle drug is available to everyone, yet we fail to take the recommended dose. However, this self-deception can only be sustained for so long before our bodies start to break down. We put on weight, we're chronically stressed, tired all the time, and in pain. It's much easier to visit the doctor and fill out a pain prescription. Sadly, masking the pain doesn't solve the problem. It makes it worse. There's no escaping the need for movement. It has to get done, and it has to get done the right way. Exercise is perceived as difficult because we have a distorted idea of what to expect from an exercise program. Magazines and social media distract from realistic expectations. We've been led to believe that abs and 22-inch biceps are the markers of health and vitality. This is the message we get when scrolling through the newsfeed. We're motivated and fully on board, but it doesn't take long to get burnt out. Without any sign of a single ab, exercise feels like a waste of time. So we give up. What you do daily dictates your function. From that, we can determine the daily minimum required exercise. Starting slow and then building up will promote long-term adherence. Unlike the Photoshop professional models selling the next best training method, for most of us mere mortals, our paycheck does not depend on how good our body looks in a staged environment. Though there are many reasons why we may want to get into the gym, the universal reason for most of us is to look good, and that's how they get us. Healthy bodies come in all shapes and sizes, but some requirements remain constant. You need to move often. If you don't move now, you're most likely not going to move later in life. We need fluid joints, strong, supple, functional muscles, and dense skeletal bones that are able to sustain long periods of strain. That's it. That is the essence of fitness. An exercise plan that accounts for all 4 areas mentioned will have a side effect of you looking good, getting rid of pain, chronic stress, and even living longer, as long as you know how to recover from all the strain you put on the body. To finish the day strong means you get good sleep. However, that's easier said than done. Good sleep takes work. We're sleeping less than ever before. Sleep is the first thing we discard when we have work or other so-called more important responsibilities. Our jobs are doing everything to keep us at work as long as possible. Showing love for sleep and naps is looked down on and considered a sign of laziness. Giant cups of coffee are like a badge of honor as we push on with work on 4 hours of sleep. We all have flirted with the idea of going on as little sleep as possible. It's a fallacy that we need to get over. Winston Churchill once said, "Never sit when you can lie down." Don't feel bad for wanting to get more sleep. That's your body sending you a clue about the state of your health. Sleep helps you burn fat, improves your immune system, and optimizes mental function. It also helps with self-control and physical performance. Poor or insufficient sleep can cause poor blood sugar control, which leads to weight gain, inflammation, food cravings, poor recovery and readiness, and even depression. Try as you may, you cannot outsmart sleep. Other recovery methods are trending right now, like the sauna and cold exposure. But without sleep, neither can help you. Aside from nutrition, nothing interferes with fat burning more than lack of sleep. If you go long enough, it may even kill you. It's all inputs and outputs. As the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. It's up to us to treat ourselves like sports cars, covering all the bases daily. Or you can be the guy that checks their oil every other month. The choice is yours. Thanks for spending this time with me. If you find value here, subscribe and I will see you soon.